another reaction. We're taking a first for the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's been quite some time since we dove into a new band, or since I dove into a new band, let me just say. But we're taking a look at the band called Humanity's Last Breath. Now, I've heard of them before, but I've never dove into them. I never really went out of my way to listen to these guys. You know, if I would have categorized without hearing them before, I would say they were like more on the, you know, this is me just guessing. I would say I have no idea what they sound like, but I would categorize them probably maybe in the currents side of things, you know, maybe of like the orbit culture kind of vibe, you know, that sort of intensity, that sort of, you know, hardcoreness to them, you know, that like modern metalcore, but a little bit on the heavier side of things, if that makes sense. But I could be completely wrong at that. They could be the poppiest band known to man. I have no idea. But like I said, it's just speculation. But if they do sound like that sort of thing, I'm in. Because I love currents, I love orbit culture, especially though probably one of my favorite newest bands to go back and check out to and listen to, just because they just do it on a so whole nother level, man. And it's still crazy to me how that guy can do the rhythm and the guitar singing as well. You know, it's just nuts. Those guys are nuts. But if these guys sound like them, I'm in. So I believe this is one of their newest tracks that they released. It came up on my recommended, so I decided, you know, check it out for you guys, see what they sound like. And if you guys are fans of these guys, be sure to let me know about them in the comments, as well as any other new singles or other past, you know, songs that are other popular from these guys. Be sure to let me know. And I might have to check those ones out for you guys as well if I like this one. So yeah, but before we get started, be sure to subscribe. I would appreciate it, and it's really help me out. I mean, if you like Humanity's Last Breath, be sure to like this video as well. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by, checking out some more videos, because we're just getting started on these heavy bangers. Ladies and gentlemen, no time wasting, let's get right into it. It's Humanity's Last Breath, newest single called Godhood. Hello, drowning intro. I might like them already. Oh my god! Oh, these guys must be heavier than the Orbit boys. Oh my god! Oh, what tone is that? Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, what is this? What realm have we stepped into? Oh my god, the build-ups are insane! Hold off harmonics! Jesus! Oh, the chaoticness! Oh, the chugs with the harmonies! It's like the guitars are squealing for help! Oh my god! Are we going even deeper? Are we going even lower, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, I don't know if I'm ready! How heavy can they go? Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, what was that? What was that? Did we just enter a whole nother realm? Did we just enter a whole nother universe? Like, what was that? Oh my god, I was not expecting that, man. Just felt like the bands I mentioned before are child's play compared to these guys. Because, oh my god, what the hell was that? We just got summoned out of nowhere and dragged down to the pits to God knows where. We just got dragged down, pulled down to the abyss of just hardcore intensity abomination. Ladies and gentlemen, what was that? That was probably the most intense, heavy, probably single I've ever listened to, man. Because, Lorna Shore aside, these guys just brought the tone to a whole nother level that I don't think I've ever heard from a band. Because, like, opiate culture can get pretty heavy, but these guys just seem to just top those guys and then some. Because I don't even know what tune. I don't even know what tone that is. I don't even know what tuning that is. They have to use whammies to get that low, if you ask it me. Because there's no way in hell a 7 or 8 string, maybe an 8 string can get that low, but I have no idea. Those strings will be flopping in the wind for getting that low, let me just say. But either way, wow. And the vocals as well, man. Just the gutturals, the lowness of his voice, the intensity of this guy's tone and how low it could go, man. I was not expecting that. I was expecting, a mid to high range, maybe vocal, kind of wavelength in there. But no, this guy went the opposite way. He went down. He went down, with the pits of the guitars also on this track. Because he just went so low. Very clear, though. You could definitely hear the clarity in his voice, especially that low. I don't know how they do that. Maybe they amplified, in the mix his vocals or somewhat. But, kind of similar to Orbit Culture in a way. Maybe a little Whitechapel influence in there as well with the gutturals and something like that. All props to anybody who can get that low. I don't even know if I can get that low personally, but, but when he started singing, you could just feel the intensity. You could feel the power in his voice. It just feel like, oh my god, this man's talking to me. What is he saying, though? I have no idea, but it felt like he was like in me. He was talking through me. I felt like every, it shook me to my core, I would say, because I wasn't expecting that. But on the instrumental side of things, very chaotic, very intense, heavy. A lot of pinch harmonics, a lot of harmonics playing throughout the riffs and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever heard that sort of play style before. I feel like bands don't really, play around with the notes as well, to make weird, crazy and wacky sounds with their guitar riffs anymore. So that was kind of like a new and interesting refresher. I like me playing around with some harmonics as well. Just get that little edge, just add that little, element, add that little more spice to your riff, if that makes sense. So that was very interesting. Maybe they overplayed it a little bit too much, in my opinion. Because it felt like the guitars were screaming for help at that point. But it's very different sort of play style, very interesting. Very brought me into, maybe I want to check some more of these guys out. Maybe I want to check some more of their creativity. Check out maybe some other play style from other songs. Maybe if it sounds similar, or maybe it sounds a little bit different. Maybe a little bit more riff heavy, which I would like. But I don't know. But for my first introduction to this band, all I can say is, wow, I'm just completely mind blown. I was not expecting this, amount of intensity, this amount of hardcoreness, but I'm in, man. I'm definitely in. I like my short. I like heavy music. I like me some heavy, deep sounding tones. I like me some deep sounding dissonant chuggies. You already know how it is. But so if there's any other stuff from this band, if they're coming out with any more of the new stuff, or if they have any announcements or something like that, or if any other past tracks, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and I'm going to have to check these guys out for you guys in the near future, and they might become one of my new favorite bands to come back to and check out from the time to time. So yeah. So if these guys are Australian, I would not be surprised, because these guys definitely do it on another wavelength over there, especially when it comes to the hardcore and heavier style music. I feel like those guys over there do it in a way that is more surprising, let me just say. But like I said, be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here, who's going through every single band challenge, and you don't want to miss out on a single one. I guarantee that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.